That is an amazing view, isn't it? Oh, in this video, I'm sharing with you 5 things to love about the Walker Tribeca Hotel and 5.5 things not to really love about it, and a full room tour and a review should you book this place coming up. And if you're new here, yo, I'm Christine Lozada with Where in the World is CL. I make travel videos every week to help you get up, get out, and go travel. So if you like to travel, consider subscribing. The first thing to know about this property is that it's located in the heart of Tribeca. It's actually a very modern and trendy hotel, and there's 10 floors, including its rooftop. We'll talk about that, you'll love it. But there's 170 rooms, and there's kind of a lot of different room types, but we'll talk about that when we get to the hotel tour. Let's talk about the first thing to love. The first thing to love, and I've been loving this, is the location. We really are in the heart of Tribeca, but in a really awesome part of it. Well, my favorite thing is you're right next to not just a single train, but a lot of trains that will take you not just north-south on the 6, for example, but east-west, etc. And so it's very easy to get anywhere you want to go, but it's also in a great location in that a lot of things are just walking distance from the property, which actually a lot of people don't realize. I used to live in New York City, so this location is fantastic. The next thing you'll love is this. The views from this hotel property are amazing. There are a couple ways to enjoy it, but if you want a view from your room, the helpful tip here is that rooms 7 through 10. The upper level floors will have a better view than all the rest of the rooms because you're above some of the other buildings and can look out at the city. Really, really nice if you're 7 through 10. The next thing you'll love is a lot of the spaces around the hotel. This hotel has an actual lobby, and so we'll talk about some of the spaces, but you'll love that you actually have some other spaces to enjoy on the property, because I was walking past some of the other hotels that I was considering, which, by the way, this hotel price as well as other hotels I was considering are all in the description of this video for you, as well as a whole blog post that goes along with it if you're looking for more helpful tips. But there's a lot of spaces to enjoy within this property beyond just the lobby. So you kind of got like 4 different options. There's like the lobby space where they have like coffee and tea and pastries in the morning. It also opens out into Blue Bottle Coffee, which is fantastic. And then you also have the restaurant that's on property. It's really nice to have a dining option. That place gets really good reviews. I am choosing not to check it out. Too many places I love to eat at in New York City that I gotta hit up. But there's really good reviews on the restaurant. The rooftop bar is open seasonally. We're gonna hit up there right after this because the sunset is happening right now. And so that's an amazing option available to you as well. Ooh, and then St. Tuesday, that was actually really cool. I went there last night. There is a speakeasy inside of the hotel. So they have to actually walk you down into there or escort you in, but they have live music down there and really fun like cocktails and snack-like food. It was really nice being down there last night. Oh, wait a minute, I missed one more that I'm definitely not going to partake in, at least on this trip, which is the gym. So a lot of times it's hard to find a hotel that has a gym on site, and here they do have a gym on site. So that's available to you at 24 hours a day, which is pretty cool. And the last thing you'll love is it does feel pretty trendy, luxurious, and we'll talk about that in the room tour as well. So I actually feel like the vibe at this hotel is really cool. I recently stayed at a 5-star boutique hotel that was like super luxurious and nice, but it felt like kind of stuffy. That was like modern, but this is like modern trendy. I'm actually really enjoying the vibe at this hotel a lot more. You can find info about that other property in the description below, but I like to keep it real. Y'all know that on this channel. So I talked about the things to love. Let's talk about some of the things not to love. I mean, that view is solid, but you're paying for that view. Let's be real here. And you're also paying for this amazing location and all the amenities that we're talking about. I feel like hotel prices in New York City tend to be pretty steep, but 2 suggestions I have for finding a really great deal, because this was the rate for this room that I'm in. We'll talk about, there's lots of different room types during the tour, but 2 things I love to do. 1, Hotel Tonight. The inventory for New York City is huge. If you're like, what's Hotel Tonight? Check it out in the description below. You can basically pull up all of the hotels that are available, and whatever leftover inventory they have, they sell at a steep discount. And if you literally book it tonight, you can get the best deal possible versus booking weeks or months in advance. The other one is I like to take booking.com and sort it by traveler ranked. Not, not recommended, not what booking.com is getting sponsored money for, which by the way, this is not a sponsored video, but rather what the travelers want. So you can check that out in the blog post and the description below as well. But one thing about Walker Hotel, Walker Tribeca, and their other properties, they have one in Greenwich Village, is, oh, I love doing this. If you know, at least loosely know some of your travel dates, buying a lot of my travel, I will do that during Black Friday. I'll try to plan out as much of the next year as possible and buy things during Black Friday. That's another great way to find a deal. But one thing you're not gonna love about this price, if you just, book it on an instant, this is not cheap. Ooh, the other one, which this is the half one you won't love, which there's also a facility fee. That's pretty common. It's not that bad here. At the Tribeca location, it's a $30 facility fee for all the amenities, etc. But there is that additional cost that goes into the price. And the next one is that, this is a pretty small space, right? Like there's not a whole lot going on here. And I'm in one of the biggest, actually not one of the, I'm in the biggest room on this property. And it's not that big. I'm not that big of a person, but there's not a lot of space here. This really does encompass the New York City small spaces. And so the space, it's not that big. I will say it's good for one, but if my boyfriend Meatball was here, he's kind of a big guy. I had no room for that guy. The next one not to love is that you're gonna have to ask for things. So if you want an iron or an ironing board, you're gonna have to ask for it. Because there's not that much space in here. Or if you want a coffee maker or a tea kettle, you're gonna have to ask for that. Those things don't come standard in the room. Things like a hairdryer will, but you gotta ask for some things. And look at this, it's not that big. So if you want like a rollaway bed, that's not an option. They don't do rollaway beds at this property. So if you're sleeping with someone in a single bed that you don't wanna sleep with, you gotta build that pillow wall. Pillows. Super comfortable. Oh, the next two are kind of like New York City problems in general. It's loud. It's loud. It's New York City. It's loud. The rooms are really small and they're right next to each other, so I can hear all my neighbors. It's pretty loud. And the elevator. There's only 2 elevators. I kind of don't want to be on the 9th floor because one of the elevators is out, so the wait for the elevator has been not my favorite thing about this property. All right, room tour. You ready for it? A reminder that these are the different kinds of room types. I'm in a corner king. Let's pull that up. And as you come in, you can see that it's very New York, right? You walk into the room directly looking at the sink. You have a really small space, but honestly, for one person, it really is enough. There's a big king bed in this room and it's really, really comfy. Like the bed is really comfortable. I got a sweet view out there. Really stoked on that. There's some nice little art that's in there. I have some nice lights by the bed. It's been really nice to just lay in bed with my laptop, to be totally honest, but that view has been killer. You've also got a TV in the room. It's not a small TV, which is really nice. And the other thing that you have is this bench, and I've been putting my luggage on the bench. And you also have a small table and a little seat. So if you want a chair to sit down or put your stuff on, it's nice to have that versus just it being a blank space. What else is cool about this room is that it has a few different windows. So it's not just one, lots of natural light. And there's really nice marble finishes in the bathroom. And so it feels a little bit modern. That's really nice. And also really good. I recently stayed in Tulum, Mexico. I did not love that shower. This shower is fantastic. You got the dual shower head. They do provide amenities. That's really nice. And then the other thing is that this door for the bathroom slides and you have a mirror on the other side. So you have a full length mirror, which is also a nice thing to have. When you come over to the sink side, you got extra towels. They do provide waters for you, which is nice. The maids have been cleaning my room and they have been refreshing the water, which is also really nice. In the closet, you have all the things you'd expect, but what makes it also feel luxurious is this robe. Oh, and these slippers are actually really comfortable. I have been wearing them like nobody's business. But you have a couple hangers to hang some things. You have your safe, you have a steamer, you got stuff like that in the closet. And again, this space is small, but it really is just enough. It depends on how long you're spending in New York and whether you're traveling alone or with somebody. 5 things to love and 5.5 things not to really love about this property, but would I recommend it? And don't forget, if you have a helpful tip or a review of this property or another property you love, please add it in the comments below. We're all a community and let's help each other. Don't forget there's a blog post as well as the latest prices and the other properties I've stayed at in the description below for you. I would say this hotel is really cool. The location is awesome and it's very trendy and modern, and the room itself is really nice. The cash is expensive. So I would say it depends on what kind of a rate that you can get to make it feel worth it for you specifically, and we all have different budgets. There's also options to enjoy this property in a smaller room or a room for one versus a room for two at a much less expensive rate. That view is pretty priceless though. I've really enjoyed that part of it. So if you can swing it, try to get one of the rooms 7 through 10, really, really nice. But if you have a hotel tip of your own, please add it in the comments. Don't forget about that blog post and the latest prices below. I'm Christine Lozada, and I'll see ya in the next adventure. Ciao.